Hi, this is Joe again with another review. Saying this video, we're going to be discussing Wrestlemania 32. This took place. Excuse me. This took place in 2016. It was just 4 years ago. It happened in AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas. That was the newer home for the Dallas Cowboys. And of course, this one broke the all-time attendance record for WrestleMania. Not the real indoor record though. And bring that up in a minute. There's over 101,000 people, over 101,400 people was there in the stadium. And of course, like I said, it broke the record that was held at WrestleMania 3 with over 93,000 in the Pontiac Silverdome. Of course, there was the match where they had the Hulk Andre match. And this one, the reason why it didn't break the all-time indoor attendance record was like 108,000 because it was for a basketball game that ironically took place, or should I say, an exhibition basketball game that happened in the same stadium. The reason is because of all the big ramps and the little stage they had there with the wrestlers come in on. If they had the stadium set up like they had way back in WrestleMania 3, or even WrestleMania 6 or WrestleMania 8, then they probably would have had a couple more thousand, kind of closer, if not to break that indoor attendance record. I mean, I think it would be cool if they had an attendance record for wrestling, to regain that. But they didn't do it. I think the only way you could probably do it if they had it in the LA Coliseum, which was supposed to have WrestleMania 7 on. So if you haven't seen the WrestleMania 7 review, please check it out. It's still up here on YouTube. We'll get back to the card. WrestleMania 32 was shown on ESPN. And because they don't have the basketball or anything else, and to lead up to WrestleMania 36, which is supposed to take place this coming weekend, ESPN was airing they're going to air about 3 more recent WrestleManias, which I think it's kind of, to me, as a wrestling fan from the 80s and early 90s, it's kind of like a ripoff. Because you want to see the older WrestleManias. You want to see 12 matches, not the 5 or 6 matches that ESPN shows. And that's one of my pet peeves, is that the matches now are way too long. I mean, you're going to have other critics, who complain about these matches, about the earlier WrestleManias, especially ones that the matches aren't really that great because they're either a lousy finish or the matches themselves are generating enough heat. Like, the Hulk Andre match, or the Randy Savage Steamboat match, or even in WrestleMania 2 we had the Hulk Bundy match. Even though there was a classic match, classic confrontation, it was the main event. It was the first heavyweight championship match in WrestleMania. Was the Hulk King Kong Bundy match in WrestleMania 2 in a steel cage. And the old-fashioned steel cage, right, with the blue ring, with the blue cage, steel cage, with the rings, we could look through the cage easier than the cage is now. Or the tag team match with the British Bulldogs and the Dream Team, Brutus Beefcake and Valentine. And those were classic matches. Now what they have now is just crap. But and complaining that those matches were too short. Now the WWE, I still call it the WWF. Now that they went to the other spectrum, because the matches were like the typical matches you see on television, maybe like 10 minutes, 10 or 15 minute matches tops. Now you have matches that go double that, or even triple that length of time. And because those matches take way too long, you only have about maybe like 7 or 8 matches on the whole card. And back in the early days of WrestleMania, you can have like 12 matches on the card, and over 3 hours you can have 12 matches. because the piece of the match, you got 12 matches on the card, and they have all the championships on the line, and all that type of thing. Now you have maybe so much. When it gets to the card, at least the matches they show. The first match they showed was for the Intercontinental title. It was a ladder match, and it was, it was a good match. I thought, and that's Billy's thing. I forgot who that. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on who. I had a busy day today, and I forgot who won that particular match. But I thought it was a good match for what it was. And I don't know about any of you guys, but I'm getting a little tired of seeing these ladder matches. I mean, I'm getting tired of seeing them in WrestleMania. They make a big deal of ladder matches, especially in the days when you had the triple threat tag team matches, tag team championship matches. I mean, the Hardy Boys, the Hardy Boys, the Dudleys, and Edge and Christian. And now you have this. I mean, it's like the same thing. It's like watching the same movie every single day of WrestleMania. It's like you know what's going to happen. You know how it's going to turn out. They also had a Divas triple threat match where they got rid of the Divas title and transformed it into the women's singles title, which I don't like the term Divas. I mean, I hate that whole. I mean, don't mind women wrestlers, but I just hate the term Divas. Because I felt like putting the women down. And you had Charlotte Flair, you had Becky Lynch, and you had I think Sasha Banks in a triple threat match. I thought it was a pretty damn good match. I mean for what it was a damn good match. Charlotte Flair won, and of course she had a little help from her father, Ric Flair. He was there to interfere a little bit. Of course, in a triple threat match, there's no disqualifications going on, so he was able to get away with some crap, and she ended up winning. Of course, one of the other matches, you had the championship match. I was skipping over the Undertaker match, but I want to say that one for last because it's usually the highlight of the show. You have the championship match with Roman Reigns versus Triple H, and that match, even with the commercials, took about 45 minutes. And it's with the commercial on ESPN, so for a match for 45 minutes. For one match, almost, and this thing was on for 4 hours. And you have almost an hour of it just for one match. I mean, back in the old days, you used to have maybe like 3 or maybe even 4 matches in an hour in WrestleMania. Now you have 1 hour to roll for one match. I mean, it's just these matches go way too long. I mean, if it's a 20-minute, I don't mind if a match goes 20 minutes. Even a 20-minute match is maybe too long. But at least you get 20 minutes of a match, and 20 minutes is worth it to have. It's enough time to have a great match and maybe a great win, or a great victory for whoever is designated to be the winner for that match. Because we all know it's all main event events, who wins or who loses. But if they have a good solid match for 20, you only need maybe 15 to 20 minutes. You don't need 45 to 50-minute match in WrestleMania. I'm sorry, I felt that way. I felt it's way too long, these matches. And Roman Reigns beat Triple H for the heavyweight title. And there's one interesting note going into that match that was Triple H's 20th WrestleMania match. He's only behind The Undertaker. And The Undertaker has had I think like 25 matches, 26 matches. I think this week is going to be like his 26th match. I think 27th match. So other than The Undertaker, Triple H has the most matches, with The Undertaker having the most, which I think is just incredible. Because it's amazing that it's not Hulk Hogan that has that record, or Tio Santana. Well, Tio Santana has the worst record. But you have these two guys have over 40 matches, approximately for 45 to 46 matches in WrestleMania. That's those two guys alone. But the thing, of course, The Undertaker having the most wins. Hunter, he does have some wins. I think he does have some wins under his belt. but he also has a pretty lousy WrestleMania. He put a lot of guys over, in WrestleMania. But that match was pretty good. But it was a good match. I'm glad Roman Reigns. But the problem was that Roman Reigns was booed heavily throughout this whole match. I mean, for the guy who's supposed to be, a babyface, he got booed. I never seen a babyface wrestler booed as heavily as Roman Reigns. I don't know where this hatred comes from Roman Reigns. I know that I think the next year, I think WrestleMania 33 or something, 33 or 34, he beat The Undertaker in WrestleMania. So he became only the second guy to beat The Undertaker in WrestleMania. I think it was like the next year, 2 years later, he on WrestleMania 34, I don't know if it's 33 or 34, that he wrestled The Undertaker and actually physically beat him. So so he was the second guy behind Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar was the first, when he ended the streak. So The Undertaker has a streak now getting into the Undertaker match. He now has, I think, 23-2 or 24-2 record at WrestleMania, which is incredible. True, like I said in my review for WrestleMania 30, most of his matches are crappy. And I mean, his opponents that The Undertaker wrestled were either way past that prime, like Jimmy Snuka was, King Kong Bundy was. King Kong Bundy took like 9 years off before he wrestled, and he did a lot of the independent circuits in between WrestleMania 3 and WrestleMania 12. So between those 9 years, he wasn't even in the WWF. He left. He had just left, and I think he left just before WrestleMania 4 or around WrestleMania 4. He left, or just before WrestleMania. He wasn't even in WrestleMania 4, Bundy, and he left, and so he had him. He had Jake the Snake Roberts, who was on his last match before he left. And he had the infamous match, one of the worst matches in WrestleMania history, with Giant Gonzalez, which is one of the more infamous matches in WrestleMania. It was so bad, so terrible. And it was times when it was in triple threat matches, and he ends up winning the championship. He fought Mark Henry, he fought Batista, he fought I don't think he fought John Cena. I think he did. Triple H, he fought like three times. Shawn Michaels, also about 2 or 3 times. So it's not like he wrestled over 20 different guys. I mean he fought at least 2 of them more than once. So, and he fought Batista, Mark Henry, I think twice. So it's not 20 different wrestlers, folks. It's not. And he wrestled. He didn't, in this particular match, he didn't even wrestle a wrestler. He wrestled Shane McMahon, Vince McMahon's son, in a Hell in a Cell match, which of course Undertaker is the king of the Hell in a Cell matches, and of course he won to up his record to after he lost to Brock Lesnar just 2 years earlier. He won 2 matches in a row. He won the 22nd match the year before, and I think he fought Roman Reigns the year before. The Undertaker did, and now he's wrestling Shane McMahon in a Hell in a Cell match. Because the most iconic moment was Shane McMahon climbs up to the top of the cell, jumps off, but he missed the Undertaker, rolled out of the way, and he crashed into the one of the announce tables outside the ring. So after that, after about maybe 5 minutes later, Undertaker drags his ass back into Shane's ass back into the ring, and he pins it 1, 2, 3, and of course he won once again in WrestleMania, and those were pretty much the matches that they showed on ESPN. They also showed the Andre the Giant Battle Royal match, which I think Corbin won that match, and it was a good battle. At least they rolled it down to 20 guys instead of 30, Because if you put 30 guys in all in the ring with one shot, I think it's like way too much. It works for the Royal Rumble because they're able to ease all the guys in, all the wrestlers in. But they put 30 people in the ring all at the same time. I think it's a bit much. They have 3-man battle royals before, but I don't think it quite works with 30. It works great with 20 in a regular battle royal, but not. Well, 30 is cool because you can't even move in that ring with 30 guys. But I do like battle royal, seeing an old-fashioned battle royal at WrestleMania. Because it used to be like almost every other year, WrestleMania 2 had one, and WrestleMania 4 had one, had a battle royal, and then it stopped for a long time because the Royal Rumble was such a big thing. It pretty much stopped having battle royal, good old-fashioned battle royal in the WrestleMania until they had the gimmick battle royal. I think it was WrestleMania 15, I think. Or 17, they had a gimmick battle royal, and then you had the Andre the Giant battle royal for the last few years. And I think the battle royal is even a better match than the stupid ladder matches that they have. I mean, they should just get rid of that and just have the battle royal as the one gimmick match for the night. I mean, other than the triple threat stuff. So that's my review of WrestleMania 32. Please click on the video, please rate it. Please subscribe to my channel. Please forward this video to your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews on my YouTube channel at rallyc.com. It's all WDY and that's C.com. For my page member reviewer, Christine Moore, please check out all of his videos on this website. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.